pathological myopia, also known as degenerative myopia or myopic degeneration. It is associated with high myopia. A high myopia is defined as a myopia of more than -6 diopters and which has the eyeball length, the anterior posterior length of the eyeball is more than 26 millimeter, generally in cases of high myopia or pathological myopia. Pathological myopia is characterized by a progressive anterior-posterior elongation of the scleral envelope as well as associated secondary changes, the fundus changes, which is also attributed to the mechanical stretching of the involved tissues. That is the eyeball that gets mechanically stretched, due to which the fundus changes appears in the degenerative or the pathological myopia. There are some systemic associations of high myopia, that is Down syndrome, Marfan syndrome, prematurity, Noonan syndrome, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, or Pierre-Robin syndrome. The fundus findings of pathological myopia are very important. First, a pale tessellated or tigroid fundus, focal chorioretinal atrophy, anomalous optic nerve head, lacquer cracks, subretinal coin hemorrhages, a Fuchs spots or Foster Fuchs spots, staphyloma, rhegmatogenous retinal detachment, CNV, choroidal neovascularization or CNVM, choroidal neovascular membrane, macular retinoschisis, macular hole. Other associations are being the cataract, mainly the posterior subcapsular cataract or the dense early nuclear sclerotic cataract. Glaucoma, mainly the primary open angle glaucoma or pigmentary glaucoma is being seen, or there is increased steroid responsiveness is also seen. That these are the other associations associated with pathological myopia, that is cataract and glaucoma. Now with images we will see the fundus findings in case of pathological myopia. This is tessellated fundus, also known as tigroid fundus. It occurs due to diffuse attenuation of the RPE, that means diffuse RPE atrophy, leading to the visibility of these large choroidal vessels. This is known as tessellated fundus, also known as tigroid fundus. Second finding is chorioretinal atrophy. This is atrophy of the retina as well as choroid, leading to the visibility of this white scleral envelope. This can also be seen in degenerative myopia. This is anomalous optic nerve head. In this we can see there is tilting of the disc, as well as on its temporal side we can see this crescent. Now this temporal crescent or myopic crescent is also a chorioretinal atrophy in the peripapillary region, that means around the optic nerve head there is chorioretinal atrophy, leading to visibility of this sclera. This is known as temporal crescent. Next is lacquer cracks. Lacquer cracks are in the macular area are occurring. These fine regular yellow lines are the lacquer cracks, and these occur due to rupture in the RPE Bruch membrane choriocapillary complex. Now we have RPE, Bruch membrane and choriocapillaries. This is the outer blood retinal barrier complex. When these gets ruptured in between, this leads to lacquer cracks in the macular area. These are visible as fine irregular yellow colored lines on the macular area. Subretinal coin hemorrhages. These are the coin shaped hemorrhages in the subretinal space. When these hemorrhages gets absorbed, these leads to a yellowish raised circular pigmented lesion in the macula. When this subretinal hemorrhage gets absorbed, and this is known as a Foster-Fuchs spot in the macular region. When the subretinal coin hemorrhages get absorbed, a raised yellowish circular pigmented lesion is seen at the macula. This is lattice degeneration which can occur. Other degenerative conditions such as retinoschisis can also occur. Retinoschisis and a difference between retinoschisis and retinal detachment is that in retinal detachment there is detachment of the neurosensory retina from the RPE, whereas in retinoschisis there is detachment in between the neurosensory retina, particularly at the outer plexiform layer. There is detachment of the retina within the neurosensory retinal layers. That can also occur in myopic degeneration. Other findings that we were seeing. So we have seen the tessellated tigroid fundus, chorioretinal atrophy, anomalous optic nerve head which includes the tilted disc plus the temporal crescent or the peripapillary crescent, lacquer cracks, subretinal coin hemorrhages. Due to absorption of this, a few spots at the macula, then a staphyloma can be seen. This is the bulging. Which staphyloma? Posterior staphyloma. This is the bulging of the scleral envelope posteriorly due to its thinning, because there is continuous anteroposterior elongation of the eyeball in pathological myopia, due to which sclera becomes thin, and there is ectasia, thinning and posterior protrusion of the scleral envelope posteriorly. Rhegmatogenous retinal detachment. This occurs because there is the degenerations are associated with pathological myopia, and there is more chances of posterior vitreous detachment. Therefore, chances of development of a tear or a hole in the retina is more. So, a rhegmatogenous retinal detachment is commonly seen. CNV, choroidal neovascular membrane, is characteristic of age-related macular degeneration. This can be seen here also. Macular retinoschisis is discussed, and a hole in the macula can also be seen. So these are the fundus findings of pathological myopia.